Hey April, welcome to my American Style Kettlebell Swings 101. There's a couple different styles of kettlebell swings. You can do a Russian swing, which comes up to about eye level. You can do the American swing, which goes all the way overhead. I'd like to get you into the American swing only because it burns a little bit more calories, burns a little bit more body fat, gives you more stability and control, and demands more stability and control from your body. So that said, we're going to go over both of them. But if you can get comfortable doing the American swing, I'd really like to see you pick that one up. So for demonstration purposes for now, my Apple is going to be my kettlebell. Don't worry, I actually have a kettlebell we'll get to. And just so you see how it looks like, I'm not sure what the DVD you have was looking for, but I want that solid, like squat-based stance. And that stance should be usually it's just a little bit outside your shoulders, maybe right underneath of your shoulders. For me, my toes point out a little bit. For some people, they need to point straight ahead. It all depends on what keeps your knees rotating right over your toes. For me, I have really long legs, so in order to keep my knees over my toes going outward, I have to point my toes that direction. If you got shorter legs, you may need to point your toes just straight ahead so that your knees go straight over your toes. You don't want them rotating inward. You're going to get more power by pushing out than you're going to be by pushing in, right? This is just kind of a collapsed position. So we're going to drive towards this. Kind of like the same position you do when you get up like off the toilet or something like that. Some everyday thing when you get in and out of the car. Once you push your knees out over your toes, drive up through your heels, feet nice and flat on the floor. Okay, so using my Apple as my kettlebell, this is kind of a slow-mo of what I'm looking for the American swing. The American swing, you're going to pick it up straight off the ground. So it's going to start right about between your legs-ish level. You're going to bend over, but I want your back flat. So think about picking a spot straight ahead to look for and putting your shoulder blades in your back pocket. So instead of a shrug up, I want your shoulder blades down and back. So from the front, that would look like a shrug up. If I was doing my swing and it was a shrug up this way, everything's kind of, again, collapsing inward. So I want the shoulders down and back, almost like your chest is at an attention, like a soldier. That's what I'm looking for. So that when you do your swing, you drive with your hips come all the way through, and shoulders will control the bell from going overhead, right? Want your biceps equal to your ears. And just like gravity help you out on the way down, same thing, back's nice and flat, right? You're right between your legs. Go ahead and make contact with your forearms and your thighs. Drive it up. So when you have the kettlebell, it looks like this. This is a little 15-pound kettlebell. I want all the fingers inside the kettlebell, none of these pinkies on the outside. It's especially dangerous when it comes to American swings because if this should ever flip, it's going to take your pinkies with it. You need your fingers. Keep them all inside. Keep it nice, comfortable, but snug grip on the kettlebell. We don't want it flipping overhead. So if I was going to do 10 kettlebell swings American style, start out from the ground. Kettlebell's right down between my feet. You can barely see it on this monitor. Sorry about that. Pick it up. Shoulder blades down and back as if I'm putting my shoulder blades in the back pocket of my pants. Gonna get that nice little bend in my knees. And that hip drive is what sends it overhead. My shoulders are controlling it from going overhead. And my comfortable grip is keeping the kettlebell from flipping. So the kettlebell will land like this when it's over my head. So Russian style, in case you're not comfortable with that yet, going overhead, and I know it's a little bit scary. Russian style, huge benefit, big fat burner, nothing to be said negatively about it. Goes right up to about eye level, or shoulder level. Same drive with your hips, sending it up. Okay, so those are kettlebell swings. I'd like to see us get up to 100 in a row by the end of the month. So I'm going to send you some programming that'll hopefully get you there. Feel free to go kind of heavy with these. I mean, you're going to burn more fat with it. And as long as you're comfortable with the weight, I would say no lighter than 15 pounds. If you can do the 20, do the 20. It sounds like from what I've read from your previous email that you could be definitely in the arena to hit the 20 pounds. You will likely be a bit sore afterwards. Sorry about that. So to mitigate that soreness, I'm going to show you one of my favorite rolls real quick right before we go. So I'm going to adjust you down here. Okay, taking my trusty roller, plop it down on the ground, get it right underneath your hips, kind of like you're going to do a plank. Take your feet up off the floor if you can. Just walk out. Take the roller to just to the tops of your knees. Do not go over the joint itself. You don't want to derange your knees. But usually that's the hot spot for folks. And then walk it all the way back. And all the way forward. If you have any real hot spots, try to linger over them as long as you can. And walk it back. You can also roll out your back. This probably came with whatever book came with your roller. But you're going to start it right under your shoulders. A little bit of a bonus ab workout here. You're going to pick your abs up. For me, I don't care what happens with your hands. I just like to keep my hair out of the way. And roll slowly. So you hit that lower back area. Usually that's the money spot. That's where things get tight. Roll this way. Again, foam rolling and stretching you can do throughout the day. Whatever feels good, whenever you can snag the time. Whenever you feel tight and you got a few seconds, doesn't take more than just that, 3 or 4 rolls to kind of loosen things up. So anyway, wish you luck this week. Let me know if you have any questions with it and I will be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Welcome to your first week of training. Can't wait to see where you take it. See you later.